4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody in Facebook Live Land. It's the Podguyz podcast, bringing it to you live as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. We are not late today, which is a good thing. Always on time, because it's what we do. I'm Tony Cass.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, we have the ever-loving Picasso. Fury, you're going to learn some things today that... All right. We have the ever-loving Picasso, Les Barquet, over in the corner there. He's not a talker by any means, but he is a visual artist. He does these wonderful caricatures because he's terrible at talking all around. He can't really form many sentences that make sense from top to bottom and from left to right and from up to down. And whenever he does, Jesus Lord, I remember he did offend a good amount of guests on here with the game show. He used to allow Sparky to have a game show every show until he went over the edge on one game show for some Christian folks that were on here from Australia. I'm not going to...
No, wait, were they part of Hillsong? Because that would be funny to me.
No, they were...
I think they may have been, actually.
Were they? I think they had religious comic books or whatever. They didn't share the show, and I don't really blame them for not on that one, because it came down to Sparky wanted to play a game of when did what celebrity lose their virginity. And for anybody that knows how sleazy Hollywood is, the ages were really young, and to who were really old, like every example, and onward they went.
Well, you know what sucks for Picasso?
Uh-oh.
Is that I can't see visual art and he sucks at talking. So why do we even have him on this one?
Well, we're gonna try to supply in vivid detail just for you, Fury, exactly what he draws on his board. But he does say hi, by the way.
All right.
And on his board, he actually has the words H-I.
He has
and
it on.
He does ...
And Sparky, if you don't realize what Blind Fury just gave you is the middle finger right there, that normally is universal for fuck off or fuck you. He's not a fan of you right now, Sparky. Could you believe that?
It is what it is. It is.
Maybe the ... is like his attempt at writing Braille. It might work.
You know what?
It was Morse code, by the way. Morse code.
I did want to bring that up as Braille. Like, do you know how to read Braille, Fury, or no?
No, I've never seen it in my life. I think it's archaic.
It is archaic. Thank you, Tony. I fucking told you the same thing, and Tony's like, oh no, people use it every day. I'm like, no, man, there has to be like 1,000 better ways to do something besides that.
When I was a kid, I read Braille, but then I found technology, and then Braille just became monotonous.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's true. Mm-hmm. There's everything that you could do minus Braille, where you have audiobooks, you got technology that will actually do things vocally for you that that you can do every day. But have you found that clearly technology has gotten better, but especially for your music career, have you found that it's gotten easier with time?
I don't know, dude, because I don't push none of the buttons. I just go into the studio and rap.
Nice. He's just, you go in there, you do it all top of your head, man. Now, for people that aren't really aware, Blind Fury is a national, if not worldwide known artist, R&B, hip hop, pop, and he's on to some new ventures right now, going into some new genres, but after playing some sample mixes, it's all good stuff. He's getting into the country idea. Fury, how are you enjoying the country? What's the difference between country music for yourself or your own style compared to what you were rapping about before, just freestyling? Do you have to go over it with the guys in the studio at all? I mean,
the thing about rapping is the shelf life of a rapper is about 3 to 5 years. And
I mean, that's a long life too. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're generous on that.
But if you're going to do country, you have a longer shelf life, and you can reach a wider spectrum of audience. Like with country music, you can play it for a 4-year-old or an 84-year-old, and pretty much get the same response because there's not all the profanity, there's not all the drug references, there's not fucking bitches and slapping hoes, and none of this shit. So I mean, it's more fulfilling at the end of the day when you get to meet all ages of people and all walks of life just come to you. Wow, I really like what you're doing.
One of my favorite all-time country stars. Well, not to say it like of all time, but I'm a big fan of Darius Rucker. I loved him back in the Hootie days.
I love Hootie.
Oh man, loved him back in the Hootie days. And even when he started out in that, he had done concerts in our area in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area in Pennsylvania. And I loved going to the concerts. Like it was small change, at that point in time when it was Hootie and the Blowfish. And then once he actually got through Hootie and the Blowfish and they got huge, then he was Darius Rucker. And he's like, oh shit, gonna change this all around, get it all snapped up, and then boom, popped right into country. Right. And dude, he skyrocketed into country like a freaking rocket. It was crazy.
I mean, there were those borrowed songs like Wagon Wheel, which is an original Bob Dylan song, and then I think it was done by like everybody after they found out that they could do it and not get sued by Bob Dylan. So, but I like the way he did it. It was violins instead of harmonica, and then there was a '90s band that did it too. I can't think of their name offhand, but Fury, have you found the transition to be easier? I mean, if you can do rap, country's got to be like a step slower and a lot easier. Is it easier or is it more difficult? Would you think?
Well, see, it's easier for me because country music and bluegrass music are my first love anyway. Like, I'm really big into Ricky Skaggs. I'm really big into like Sam Bush.
That's an old name there.
Yeah,
that's some old blues right there.
That is, bluegrass. Like Steve Martin does bluegrass, and who would ever thought he does that kind of stuff? But that's it's some good stuff, banjo and harmonica stuff.
And especially since you grew up in the South Carolina.
I mean, growing up in South Carolina, right? Yeah, exactly. Like it's all around.
That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, and honestly, I really only got into rapping because it caused my mom to whip me really good when I was about 3, because I sang word for word, "Hey, We Want Some Pussy" by 2 Live Crew. And
good song.
When my mom heard it, she was mortified and immediately went to whooping my ass, because back then you could do that.
That song, I mean, that song changed lives though, because it was inspirational. Hey, we want some pussy. And that is one way to get your mom mad in the 90s. So we're about the same age. We hit around the same demographics. Like when you heard Warren G come out, and then when you got to see on TV that Tupac had been killed, and then Biggie gets murdered around like weeks later. I mean, how did kids now, they I don't want to say like kids because they're grown adults, but they were brought up into a slightly less violent version of rap. Would you agree with that or no?
I would say that depending on where you're listening to it and what you're looking at, it's a lot more watered down. It's a lot more pop, it's a lot more friendly in that way. But what's really crazy is there are 25-year-old people. There are people who are a quarter century years old who were not around when Tupac was here or when Biggie was here. Yeah. And they don't remember that time, because by the time they were old enough to really get into rap, that was water under the bridge.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, the one person that probably does like remember Tupac very well, and I will keep her name out of my mouth, just so that way somebody doesn't come bursting through the door and slap me in the face, because obvious reasons, right? We don't want any violence happening.
Are we talking about Stephanie?
Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett.
Oh yeah, Jada Pinkett. Gotcha.
So the Oscars kind of had Chris Rock making a joke or whatever the hell on him. It's just strange to see that kind of reaction on people, like especially if your wife doesn't like you. If my wife didn't like me, I wouldn't, even if she did like me, I wouldn't just go up on stage and start beating the hell out of people. But if you watch the Oscars or even heard about the situation, it just looked like a little bit of a stunt to begin with. But then you're just after somebody keeps screaming and cursing, you're like, what the fuck are you doing, Will Smith? You do a dress rehearsal for those kind of things, Fury, right? So he already knew that he was going to win the Oscar. That's the fucked up part. He already knew that all you had to do was sit the fuck down and get up and talk and say his speech and stuff, and then he'd be perfectly fine. But then again, screw all that. So getting back to yourself there, my man. So you're from South Carolina, dude. Bluegrass is in the blood right there. So this is going to be like farting out some easy. Do you have an album? You already have a bluegrass album out there now? Is it more like a country meets rap scenario?
Well, I have a full-on country album. It's more pop country. I think it's like today's country. The album's called Heartbreaks and Hangovers, and you can check it out anywhere that you would get most of your music at.
Heartbreaks and Hangovers, Blind Fury, and you're still going by Blind Fury, of course, correct?
Of course.
The Blind Fury's Heartbreaks and Hangover. I guess you could probably find some of the songs on Spotify. You're going to want to sign up for that idea, right? It's
iHeartRadio,
Spotify, Facebook. But no, it's a nice name for an album there. I mean, the one person I really I don't want to kick her when she's down or whatever the hell. But I guess Taylor Swift just had a breakup after 6 years. And Tony put the funniest thing down on Facebook about the whole idea that now that she broke up with her boyfriend after 6 years, she's got about 12 more albums coming out.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because Tootie says that all the time. Like, she's famous because she dates guys just to break up with them and write songs about it.
Hell yeah. Yo, her 3 past breakups have all been hit albums that she's had continuously right in a row. That shit's crazy.
It really
crazy.
3 platinums in a row. I mean, I think there's a method to the madness. And Family Guy even poked fun at it, where Chris went to the prom with her, and if you saw the episode, you saw it. So yeah, it's kind of she's kind of turned her love life into Clicheville. It's unfortunate. You get that famous, and she's been bred. Let's put it that way, right? She has been bred by her mother with these pageants, and then they throw a guitar on the kid, and she's a cute kid and good personality on herself, just toted around. I don't know how it is to grow up without like any kind of with the light constantly on you, people always on you. You have
annoying
personal life,
It's annoying is what it is.
Yep.
Well, ever since your 2003 Rockefeller win for you for the belt, I mean, I'm sure you've been constantly hounded, repeatedly, boom, 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 as far as like, oh, dude, we should collab. Oh, dude, we should collab. Oh, come on, we should get together with this.
Yeah, I've become quite the hermit because of that. Like, I'm really a homebody in a lot of ways just for that reason.
Good for you, though. Good for you.
I don't go out.
Yo, honestly, like all that shit, and not even to say that you get sucked into super fandom, but there's legitimately by the numbers. I mean, you have millions of views on YouTube. You got several 100,000 Twitter followers. You have an amazing social media following in general. But what you do with it is totally up to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Like we get on some streaks. I do stand-up comedy and that we do the podcast here, and Tony really goes through the rigorous stuff where he was very much excited. He was scouting out for over 2-3 months yourself there, Fury. If you don't know, you know now. He was just like, he's like, I want to get this guy in the show. He's so goddamn talented. I said, what the hell are you talking about, Tony? It's fucking 3 a.m. I have a life. Just because you hate your life doesn't mean I'll fucking sleep. So I had to call him back in the morning, but to try to check out to who we can have on. That is, we always try to spotlight somebody who we also think is very talented. So if you're on the Podguyz podcast, just know this is the peak of all entertainment. It's all downhill from here right now.
Well, we're going down slow then, fellas.
Blind, I got to talk to you about the odd
close my eyes, don't want to fall asleep. That's Titanic. Wait, no, that's
no. Wait,
that's Armageddon.
I got to talk.
That's
about
Armageddon.
The Odd Boys. Oh shit. No.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. That was Armageddon, not Titanic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I got my movies that were hit songs better than movies mixed up. You know.
Blind, I got to talk to you about your boys, the Odd Boys.
Yeah. What about them?
No, they're cool as shit, man. They're you know, there's some cool people with disabilities. You know, Nubs is fucking banging it out, man.
Listen, dude. Nubs is one of the most fascinating people I've ever met in my life. I watched the man roll a blunt in 1 minute and 30 seconds with no hands.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like that's kind of like when Ray Charles used to bake his own crack blind, you know, and he's baking his own crack. And people are like, whoa, Ben, you're able to do crack. See, people often think that just because you're missing what you would normally have going on doesn't mean that you have an extra ability. And then an extra ability on top of that. And then an extra ability on top of that. It's survival of the fittest. And if you can be the exception to the rule on that, dude, your buddy Nubs is fucking rolling blunts without any hands. People are fucking that up on a daily basis, and they're over there with their fingers, they're licking around and all that nice stuff. That's insanity. Now,
he was officially in an accident in Iraq. Was it?
Was he?
It was something that some type of explosion. He was a corporal or something in the army.
I think he was born like that. I'm sure he was born like that.
I don't know. I read a story. I read a story on the internet where they said that he was in an accident in the army.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
I don't mean. That's why I'm asking. I don't know.
I read that he was in World War II, Tony. So no, I have no idea. The now if he was born like that, I mean, it's even more impressive to get through to get not just through life, but to exceed in life.
Wait a minute. I know that story is not true because I remember specifically Nubs telling me that when he was a kid and his parents couldn't afford prosthetics, he would put beer koozies on like his nubs so that he could crawl around on like the ground and on hard surfaces without actually hurting himself.
Oh, shit.
He would he'd put beer koozies on his little stumps so he could walk around and shit.
Well, fuck you, internet today.
Well, Blind
God
Fury 1,
like
internet 0.
God damn it. Got me again.
Now, wait a second, Fury. How do you know he wasn't just telling you that because he thought that you didn't like veterans? Huh? Maybe he thought that. Maybe he's like, I can't tell him I was in the army. I'll lose my credit with this guy.
Oh, I wouldn't have gave a fuck if he was or not.
I know. Yeah.
It's kind of like Howard Stern's Whack Pack, where you have I forget the name of the albino guy.
Right.
I don't remember what his name is, but
Eric the Midget or Gary the Retard.
No. For
the
the odd guys.
The Whack Pack. Howard
Stern's your Whack Pack. Your Whack Pack.
Oh, the Odd Squad.
Yeah, the Odd Squad. I know you guys have Nubs, and then there's also an albino guy that's joined up with you guys as well, right?
Right. I'm not a part of that with them. They're their own entity altogether. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
His name is Snowman. He had a brother named that they call Frosty who died. I don't really know how, and they don't really talk about it. But
okay.
Yeah. And they.
I don't want to say the funny response and just say like summer came by and Frosty.
Yeah, summer came by, and yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. Remember, I
guy.
started off that sentence by saying I don't want to say. I just ended up saying it anyways. But Fury, you're doing your own thing. Do you have your own studio inside your house, or do you go out to studios with that whole thing?
I used to go out to studios a lot, but now I'm currently in the process of building one in the back of my house in the backyard. We got the building already put up, sheetrocking and everything is done. It's wired for lights and sound. Booth is built and everything like that. We're just getting the equipment together to put into it.
Yeah, it used to be so much more. It used to be like so much more you had to put into it 20 years ago or even 15 years ago compared to now where, how was that?
Even 10
years ago. Yeah. Now you just need
you could get like a good soundboard, soundproof the room up, get a microphone, and just really go at it. And with the editing software today, you can cancel out noises left and right.
Oh, yeah.
We literally did the Podguyz podcast commercial where you can find all the Podguyz podcast t-shirts, the one that Sparky's wearing right now at merchbooth.com. We did one of those commercials. I literally shot the whole damn thing on my iPhone, right? And then took the software from my computer and edited it up through another software app called Splice, and any kind of special effects to add. So how big is the room that you really need in your backyard? Are you building it big? Or is it, I mean, you'd have to fit a bigger band in there too, because you're doing country.
No, I'm not doing country. Like,
okay.
And you don't really even need a whole band for that. I mean, I am doing country, but what I'm saying is you don't need a whole live room to do that nowadays. Like, you can get all the instruments tracked in separately and then do your vocals. Like, and nowadays, shit, as long as you got a guitar and a bass and a keyboard, you can fucking program the real drums later on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
But,
with the
hey,
with the drum maps, thank God they improved on that. Thank God they improved on that sound.
But I would say, I think it's like 12 by 20 or something. Isn't it 12 by 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 by 20.
That's more than enough room. You probably got
yeah.
a couch. You could chill out in there for a little bit of time. You could bake up a whole bunch of.
You need 2 rooms. You need 2 rooms. You need a booth and you need a control room.
Oh, of
So,
course.
you
Yeah.
know. So there you have it.
Yeah, they don't do CDs. Remember when you had to? You remember the days where, and I do too, where I have an older audience here all the time. So you had to burn CDs. Remember the burning CDs idea?
All right. Funny you say that, because just last night I'm laying in the bed with Tootie and I asked her, I said, so look, do you remember when CDs came and they outplaced tapes, and then DVDs came and they took the place of VHSs?
Yeah.
I said, and now streams have taken the place of DVDs and CDs. What the fuck is coming after streams? And Tootie goes, they're going to plant some sort of chip into you.
Right in the head. Right in the fucking head.
Today's show brought to you by Elon Musk and the
Yep.
Neuralink.
The Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Neuralink. Drill a hole
Mhm.
inside your head and listen to ads on full blast for 30 to
That's
45
right. Even
seconds
you
at a
can
time.
listen to Blind Fury through Neuralink.
You could listen to
Right.
3 songs, have 6 skips in 1 hour, and listen to endless amounts of commercials.
Great.
Yeah,
Good for you, man.
you're
Good
right,
for
man.
you.
They totally, the streaming has taken over. Now it's kind of weird because people are so happy to say, I don't have cable. You ever hear of these people? They don't have cable. They have Netflix. Oh, and they
Yep.
just don't have Netflix. They have Netflix and Amazon Prime. And maybe not just Netflix and Amazon Prime. They got Disney Plus just for the kids too. And we got Peacock and Paramount. Dude, you got cable. You got all
Yep.
those streaming networks. You basically have fucking cable. You have
You have
9
cable.
streaming networks. You have cable. I'm sorry
Mm-hmm.
to sorry to inform you. You have the antenna just to get the fucking thing. How much time do you spend in front of the couch, sort of thing? It's almost like the God, I ended up watching on TV a woman. She says, "I won't allow my son to play any sports." You should have seen the size of this fucking kid. He looked like a watermelon. I'm thinking, she said,
Mhm.
sports are dangerous. I'm thinking to myself, you're feeding him fucking Cheetos all day. You're in more danger to his goddamn heart than any fucking, bad, smack to the brain could be in all reality. But, just throwing that little tidbit out there. But now the stream, they basically found a way to remarket and retool. And, I guess Fubo TV would be the exception to the rule, where they made an app called Cable. I'm not even joking. Like,
Oh, yeah, they really did.
you could take your cable TV anywhere you want. You could stream your phone, and say you're in a hotel room, off to cable. But then again, if you're in a hotel room, you already have cable, so it's
Mhm.
pretty pointless. If you go over to a friend's house, though, and he doesn't have cable, you could just say, "Hey, here's my Fubo password." And I think that's where it's that's where they're losing a lot of customer bases all around.
I'm gonna tell you this, dude. If you're in a hotel room and you're gonna stream something, it had better be Pornhub. It had better not be Fubo TV.
Yeah. Then again, I mean, I'm at that age where, like when I was 18 years old and you're watching porn, you're like, yeah, that's the way you fuck. That's right. Hell yeah. All right. And then like add 20 years later to the idea, I'm watching porn in this light now, man. I just look at it, I'm like,
holy shit, he's gonna be sore in the morning. Fucking,
Yep.
this guy must work out. Look at him, he's fucking, God,
He's
8-minute
ripped.
abs.
His
He's
one
ripped,
arm
of
is
course he's
jacked.
ripped. I'm getting tired watching them. I'm like, Jesus Christ, go to bed already. What's wrong with you guys? Who are you trying to impress?
So I just had a brilliant idea for a porn, right?
Yeah.
So you know how back in the day, like porn studios would take the names of like popular TV shows or movies and repurpose them so that they were like, more adult.
Oh yeah, like instead of the
So-
Big Bang Theory, you'd have the Big Gang Bang Theory, right? Something like that.
Or the Big Wang Theory or something like that,
Big
right?
Wang Theory. Yeah.
So I have a brilliant idea for one, right? You get a yoked up dude, right? Like looks like he's fresh out of doing jujitsu and shit, right? And make him look just like Joe Rogan and call it Rear Factor.
Rear Factor. Oh boy, that might hit a different crowd.
Move over, 2 girls, 1 cup. Here comes Rear Factor.
Here comes Year
Rear
Factor. The young but not too young Sheldon.
Right. There you go.
We're going to introduce
funny.
Tim on this one. Hello, everyone. Hell, he's going in for a second appetizer. Oh, no. Oh,
Jesus.
no. It's Rear Factor.
It's Rear Factor.
Is rear a factor for you?
Sometimes.
No, yeah, no, Fury, that'd be great, dude. They don't just go for humans. You have to bang any kind of animal up the rear, It's
Oh, God.
all right, that that over there, that is a hyena. Look at that. Okay, so Sparky's putting up the piece of paper right now. This is the podguyzpodcast@gmail.com. He normally does that when we get on a tangent about something that people might complain about. But if they complain, at least we know that they are listening.
There you
That's
go.
true.
We
And
have
like
had
you said, Blind, but like you said, there's good publicity, bad publicity, and you yourself, not necessarily that you're moving into the whole genre of country music, but with your platforms such as social media, things like that, what do you encourage to your fans now? Because at one point in time, it used to be, the whole not the whole rock and roll mentality, but like the whole rap mentality, from your early days. But now you switched in a whole different direction.
I think what Tony's trying to edge at is, do you feel like your audience that enjoyed your rap before is also going to move over to the countryside to listen to your country music?
Well, I'll tell you 2 things about that really quick. One, I still rap a little bit here and there for those who really still want to hear that. But I also want to remind you that 10 years ago, Jelly Roll was a no-name rapper. Like nobody knew who he was.
That's true.
And now he's taking home 3 awards from, the CMAs. So, I think that if people like you, they'll like whatever you do.
Well,
I was
wait a
actually
second.
just
Now
gonna
I
bring
do
that up
have,
too
I
about
do
Jelly
have-
Roll.
I mean, there are. I like that attitude. It's a good attitude to have. But I gotta just Garth Brooks.
I hate him.
Okay, so people that love Garth Brooks didn't like Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
Same
Very
guy.
true. Yeah.
And it was just a weird thing to go from country music Garth Brooks to saying, "Hey, I'm Chris Gaines now." It's like, are you really just an actor this whole time? This whole time?
Well,
So,
what's killing me about Garth, and this is why I don't like Garth, he refuses to put his music on streaming platforms.
Correct.
That's true.
And you're missing out on so many fan base opportunities. You're missing out on so many dollar signs. You're missing out on a lot of things by locking yourself out and being old.
I think the reason he's doing that is to try to keep alimony payments away from his ex-wife, to be honest with you.
I never thought about it like that.
The
Oh,
now
that's
if you
actually true.
if you
That's
like
true.
if you like Garth Brooks, you'll just have to listen to George Strait, because he always called George Strait one of his inspirations. And
Mhm.
when I hear the word inspiration used too much and then you put them side by side, it's like, ooh, man, you're kind of
kind of really inspired by that to the point where you kind of sound identical to it, don't you, pal?
Yeah.
You know, like
Blind,
yeah.
do you want to play a quick game with us?
Sure.
This is going to be a quick game. It's just going to be a genre game of love or hate. Love or hate as far as different genres. So tell me someone you love, someone you hate from the particular genre. Of course, we'll start with country.
All right.
Even new artist. I mean, if you like Jelly Roll and you're thinking he's got the style and class and shit.
I've got you right now. All right. I love Rascal Flatts.
Ooh.
All right.
I hate Kid Rock.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. That's
now
a
if
big
they were
one. That's
now
a big
hold
one.
on, if Rascal Flats, they're missed opportunity right here for Kids Bop. You can have the Little Rascals Flats.
Oh shit.
If you wanted to.
By the way, that's the next porno hitting in the
no, it better not be.
Rascals.
That's the little
it's all girls, all with flat asses all the time.
I think Kid Rock was the one that is trying to take credit or started the whole negativity towards the inclusiveness to drink our poison beer Bud Light campaign, where he's like, not my Bud Light. It's like, what? What are you angry at? Are you angry that the alcoholic beverage that you're drinking is slowly killing off your liver? No. Okay, great. So are you angry that the alcoholic beverage that you're drinking impairs your driving? No. Okay, so then you're angry that your wife drank the alcohol, not knowing that it would make the child inside of her deformed, and that's their words, not mine, deformed to the point where, the kid's going to have some disabilities growing up? No. Look at this can. Got rainbows on it. Oh, okay, sir. So you're a fucking stupid motherfucker. All right, great. Awesome. Right. Just so we know.
Okay. You know what's crazy about that is when that video came out of Kid Rock shooting the beers, right?
Mm-hmm.
My first reaction was not to do with what he was standing against or how stupid he was. My first reaction was, where the fuck did you get that Uzi? Like,
good question.
How do you get a fucking
Not one person said anything about it.
Right. Yeah, but aren't those illegal? I mean, I'm not a snitch or nothing, but aren't those illegal? You ain't supposed to have those.
So if you Uzis are legal to have. You just can't have an extended clip for the Uzi. And I think in the video he did have an extended clip, to be honest with you.
Right.
So you might be
a lot of shots. He shot a lot of shots.
Yeah, he was so the clip that he had might have been illegal. Some people have been trying to modify clips through Tony's 3D printer over there. They come over his house, they say,
true.
"Hey, could I, in fucking droves." Tony shows me his Tony shows me his 3D printer, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a 3D printer." I'm like, "For what?" He's like, you make stuff like a coat rack. I'm like, why do you need a fucking miniature coat rack? I can make it. It's like as innocent.
I'm making
as
Sparky
possible.
more prototype pop figures for its collection.
He tried his best. He tried his best, but yeah, no, I think it's the extended clip. I know it's an Israeli weapon. The only reason I know that is because from the movie Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. Yeah, they were talking about how it was Israeli made, and that is the only fact that I got from that movie. The rest of it was just Chris Tucker doing basically being the Wish version of fucking Chris Rock.
Yep.
And then Charlie Sheen just being there, of course, and we need a random white guy to throw in there. Well, I'm Mexican. Well, that's close enough, but you look really white, so that's fine. Get in here. So they can do their
well, we're going to cut into another genre. We're going to cut into rock and roll.
Okay. I love Alice in Chains. Right.
Ooh, classic.
I hate AC/DC.
Wow.
No,
wow.
Why
the hatred towards AC/DC?
Because every song is the same song. It's the same beat. It's the same guitar.
You're absolutely
You're
right.
not wrong.
The only problem with Alice in Chains right now is there's no surviving member, so the whole thing is just the basic. It's the whole band that replaced itself is now just a cover band.
You're absolutely wrong.
I'm wrong.
You're absolutely wrong because Jerry Cantrell is still alive.
He's still alive. Get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he still tour with them or no?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
And he's the only one alive, right?
No, and Sean Kinney, the drummer,
Wait,
is still
Sean
alive.
Kenny is still alive?
Yes.
Jesus Lord.
The only new member is a guy named William Baldwin. That's That's the black guy that took Lane's place that sings now.
Nice, because now they always had a really unique sound to themselves. It's the problem, though. They don't make any new music. Did they not make any new music, or are they just not promoted that way anymore?
They have 3 new albums. They have Black Gives Way to Blue. They have The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here, and they have that other album.
And they're not promoted the way that they used to be promoted, Tony, back in the 90s. You know, like it used to be Alice in Chains.
I would have never known.
Soundgarden was one of the alternative bands out there, and then you had the dueling banjos of alternative rock, which would be the Nirvana versus Pearl Jam argument.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And you know, it all depended on what level of heroin you liked. You know, like
mm-hmm.
the Kurt Cobain conspiracy theory. Are you a buyer into that idea? Have you heard of the conspiracy theory behind Kurt Cobain?
I've watched all the docs, and I'm well aware of the conspiracies. I do think that Courtney Love had something to do with it, although
here it comes in straight from Blind Fury's mouth.
Although I'm really popular and I probably shouldn't say things like that because the Illuminati might come kill me. So
well, like I say, if the Illuminati were that great, you know, they'd be made out of something better than aluminum.
Yeah, true.
You know?
And Beyonce.
you would pick up better metal. It's such a terrible joke. I apologize.
No, that's
all right,
great.
Blind. We're gonna go into the next category, which is YouTube rap.
YouTube rap.
I don't know
Believe it
enough.
or not, it's a category.
I don't know enough of it.
Yeah,
really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of new up and coming YouTube stars that have been hitting these social media waves. As far as Nick D, Connor Price, I believe his name is. Some amazing rappers who have been hitting the scene lately, but
I don't go out looking for new shit. I'm old.
Oh, stop! You're not that
go
old.
for familiar territories. No, well,
yep, I go for what I like. I don't go looking for new shit because then if I don't like it, it just triggers me into complaining about it for hours. So I don't do it.
All right, we might as well pop into regular rap then.
Regular
Do
rap.
you have a favorite, sir?
Sure. I love Busta Rhymes.
Ooh. Old
Now,
school, new school.
Now, there have been reports that they said that his cause of death was because of fentanyl. Did you catch wind of that at all or no?
Busta Rhymes hasn't died.
He faked his death?
Busta's still very much alive.
Yeah, he's way alive, man.
Yeah,
he just Coolio then. Coolio, I'm sorry. I'm
No, yeah, Coolio just passed away.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah,
Okay.
Coolio, they said that died of fentanyl. And I'm thinking to myself, why is Coolio doing fentanyl?
Yeah. Well, because Coolio was a lifelong crackhead. But you know, hey,
yeah. You know, when you stick to the crack game.
Well, then you just gave me my hate answer. It's got to be Coolio.
Coolio is the hate answer. Well, wait a second. You don't like Fantastic Ride, slide, slippity slide?
No,
You're
not really.
Down with Gangster's Paradise?
No Gangster's
Not
Paradise.
really.
We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster paradise. Blind Fury, come on now.
Well, see, here's the problem with that. That song got played on the radio so much in 1995 that I just don't ever want to hear it.
They even made a TV show about it on ABC that was somewhat watched by people for 3 seasons.
It was called Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds, yeah. And it wasn't...
Yeah.
It was basically Stand By Me, only they're like, instead of having Morgan Freeman, you know, we'll have the girl that played Egon.
You mean Lean On Me, not
Lean
Stand
On
By.
Me, not Stand By Me. Yeah, you're right. That was a good movie, though. And
Mhm.
Stand By Me was the one where the kid they go on and they find a dead body, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You guys are bad at this.
We're horrible at that. Damn you, Kevin.
Damn me to hell. I that's what's gonna happen, man. I'm gonna go up to the pearly gates, and God is gonna say, listen, you don't know Stand By Me compared to Lean on Me in a moment's notice.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Ready.
You guys are from Scranton, right?
We are home of The Office.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about Pam and Jim?
You know what, man? We love that. And honestly, it's like right in our backyard. Scranton Paper Company. You know, the whole thing that they shot around here was massive for our failing city.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people aren't aware, but Scranton invented depression. So, you know, if you're wondering where it came from Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know. And
see, I thought depression came from Chichester or from like Boothwyn or from like, you know, up that way.
No. Well, it came from the tears of mothers that lost their children in the coal mines, and then that spread around. You know, we were trying to literally heat up
faster than COVID.
We're trying to heat up rocks to stay warm up in Pennsylvania, to the point where some children were lost in the whole idea, where laws had to be made where they're like, you can't fucking have kids in there.
Do you know what my favorite thing about Pennsylvania is?
Ready.
The Delco accident.
You kind of
refresh our memories on this one.
Okay, you guys want to go in the house a bit, drink a Coke, we'll probably meet up at Wawa later, you know? You guys want to go and see the fight, you know? Like, that's how they talk out there in Delco, you know? Like that.
It's a spot
Delco,
on.
Pennsylvania.
That is that is spot on.
It's
yeah,
Delaware County. Yeah.
They got it is a weird blended accent down there. We're towards we're about 100 miles away from anything good.
Yeah. They say water. You want a bottle of water?
What's that?
we got water.
They say water. You guys,
I would say that'd be water? that water moved itself down. That's more like Philly, Baltimore area. We do water up here.
Water.
Yeah. And then, you know, you got the New Yorkers. I mean, like the hardcore New Yorkers, where they're just like, what kind of coffee do you have? It's like, I don't know, sir. Right. It's fucking coffee. It comes out of the packet. Would you like some or no?
Right.
You don't know nothing about
dirt
coffee.
Into the water.
Everything is whiz because I'm not in New York. It's like, please, sir, just fucking shoot yourself in the head. You know, like, Jesus Christ. We get the New Yorkers. They come down here, and all they do, by the way, you can tell they're from New York because they will tell you in the first 2 minutes, if not less time immediately. So I heard that South Carolina is just like North Carolina, except more freedom. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more freedom. I was down Absolutely. South Carolina before, right? And I really the part I enjoyed about it was the
fireworks.
No. So you have these cars that would never be deemed legal to drive, but are still, and I can't stress this enough, very much drivable.
We call that the dirty diaper squat. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, yeah. So you can drive these on the road. No cop's gonna pull you over. You don't need any. At that time, I don't know if it's changed since this.
It's illegal now. You're not allowed to have a squat anymore.
Get the fuck out! Are you serious? When the hell that happened?
About a year ago.
Oh my God!
Boo!
That's not my country. That's it. I'm no longer drinking this soda because let the world be known.
The problem is that when you alter your, and I learned this from a bunch of mechanic friends of mine, right? When you alter the body of your vehicle to do a squat, it's hard to replace shocks and work on the vehicle anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do anything with it. So it's causing a whole lot of backup at dealerships. And so they just made it illegal.
So you just might as well just buy a new one. I mean, it was I was just like, I was more encouraged. I was thinking to myself, this is fucking awesome. Look at these guys down here just roughing it, you know, just
doing whatever the hell they want to with their car. It felt like the freest nature. Then, well, went to a Indian casino at that time and lost $300. But
Hey,
whatever. I had some
Fun
jackass that was sitting next to me. Are you a gambler at all there, Blind Fury, or no?
I bet on Bengals games and I shoot dice.
On Bengals games? And wait, that's a pretty specific niche right there. Hold on now. You got your own alleyway right there. So
Mhm.
you bet on Bengals games. Is that your football team, or
Yes.
how about they got ripped off so hard in that Kansas City game, dude?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I bet $500 for them to win the Super Bowl, and they were the best team. This is what happened though, right? I ended up playing my a friend of a random scumbag or whatever the hell in Madden, right? I got the headset on and stuff, right? I got the Bengals because they're a very easy team to play with. He has the Bills. It's the third quarter. The game Madden freezes because we're online. So I end up saying to him, I say, "What did your dude take a heart attack?" Right? So he ends up reporting my comment to Madden. I got suspended from the game for a week because it was insensitive. They said that it was insensitive to recent news events and all that nice crap. But I thought that it was a hilarious observation because our game is frozen just like the one before, and that still didn't stop the Bengals. Here, Roger Goodell for the Super Bowls hanging out with dude that took a heart attack, just like, "Hey, thanks for not suing us," sort of thing. And that's probably why, in my opinion, that conspiracy wise, that was they made sure that the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl rather than the Bengals to beat the Eagles.
Would you like a conspiracy?
Yeah, why not?
Ready.
Absolutely.
We're all living in a simulation. And
I love simulation theory. Yeah.
The football games on TV are actually being controlled by 9-year-old kids playing Madden at their house. And so when the guy really did take a heart attack at the game with the Bengals and the Bills, it was just some kid's game freezing. That's all it was.
That's a very sound theory. We come out with all this technology and we say,
I've heard worse.
we come out with all this technology and we say, ha, stupid game doesn't know that I'm doing this to it. And we could also be in an altered reality, more or less, if we, if you apply the same theory to our reality that we say is so conspicuous or whatever.
Absolutely.
But that's going deep down the rabbit hole. I know Tony's got a bunch of questions loaded up right now. He told me, he says, "Kevin, don't you go rambling on about conspiracy theories, and here the fuck we are," right?
No, we're into hot dog Earths and the subterranean moons and
yeah. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv. We're here.
So, Fury, when you're not rapping and you're not in the studio and you're not doing your thing, what are some hobbies you like doing at home that you'd think that you might have that you can share with us?
I watch lots of movies with Tootie. I really don't do much. Like, I just kind of hang out and listen to music that isn't my music, and eat dinner with the fam, watch movies, kick back. Just I'm a really go with the flow kind of dude, so I can't really tell you I have a routine. I just do shit.
It's low key. It's cool. He's off the radar, man. He's off the radar.
What was the most recent movie you watched? I'm a little interested here.
Well, me and Tootie went to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie last week.
How was that? Was that all right, or?
It was awesome. It was everything I could have wanted and then some.
Really?
I wish it had been longer.
Huh.
Now, you see, some people don't like it when they say, the video game was better, right? Like the book was better.
Yeah.
No, even John Leguizamo just came out, and originally he was the original
Luigi.
Was he Luigi or Mario?
It was Luigi.
He was Luigi.
Yeah. Luigi. Okay. So he was the original voice for Luigi in the original
the movie Mario Brothers. Yeah. Dennis Hopper was in that movie, Tony. For right after winning an Oscar, they're like, "Hey, Dennis Hopper, do you want to play a fucking dinosaur?" And he's like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, this is the script. It's the Mario Brothers movie."
Shit's money's money.
He's like, "Does it pay a lot of money?" They're like, "How much is a lot of money to do?" He's like, "Just give me all the budget. Just all of it. And I'll be here for a couple scenes." The CGI back then or whatever, it was a little dicey. The plot big holes in the plot all around. And
Mhm.
yeah, so
horrible.
this was
It was a
more like
horrible movie.
this was more like the cartoon. I know that they're readapting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon to be like a cartoon movie. I
Mhm.
just the only thing I have a problem with when watching Mario is the Chris Pratt. I just don't like the guy over the whole Anna Faris thing. Did you hear about that ever or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a dick move when you do that and your kid's involved and your kid has some special needs and you just want to throw out the words by saying, "Hey, I thank you to my wife, my new wife, for giving me a healthy child." Like I just don't. I just there was that was whether no matter what she might have said to him, I don't know. You just don't throw the kid, into the idea of a negative statement like that. It pissed me off permanent at the guy, which he seemed up until that point like one of the nicest guys, but you never know, man. With these actors, they're actors for a reason. They're acting one way, and you get into these pressured situations. I don't want to make too many excuses for him, but being that he was even doing one of the voices. Now, Jack Black, I could see doing a voice for any cartoon. He's a very animated person to begin with, and like that's a perfect
Mhm.
idea.
I heard he
just
nailed
for-
that role as far as the
He did.
as far as Bowser. So,
Yeah, Bowser.
He did. He nailed it.
but from what I
Yeah.
from what I understood, it's like very theatrical. Is that
Yeah.
is that true or?
Yeah, it is. It's very theatrical, very big, very
Now,
cinematic.
Now there were rumors going around that people were in the theaters trying to get through the movie faster by using the magic fluid at the beginning. Is that true or no?
And not in the one I went to.
No.
No.
I heard that they smoked from the magic flute.
Toad plays the flute.
Toad play. All right. Well, Toad plays the
There you
flute.
go.
That's like one of those. That's a good movie to take your kids to, and that's it's a child friendly movie, which we all know the plot of Mario. Here I think we know the plot of Mario. Do we? He jumps into a toilet, right?
Two Italian plumbers.
Two Italian
Two Italian
plumbers.
plumbers.
Yeah. And then somehow they get word that a princess is missing. So they're like, all right, let's find her.
Jump down this toilet.
Yeah, let's go down the toilet and find the princess. And that spoke to a lot of children who were potty training at the time. And they're like, well, we remember the toilet. That's familiar territory. And there might be princesses down there. So God bless all the parents that had to give their kids to talk about
Yeah,
that.
fishing princesses out of their toilets.
And then on the way, if you wanted to get superpowers in the video game, you had to eat mushrooms. And if you wanted to shoot fire from your hands, you had to eat. Again, these aren't really great lessons to be teaching children most of the time. But that just proves how little video games have to do with violence. Okay. People say that normally if you play violent video games, you become a violent person. Never in my life, Blind Fury, have I ever looked at a turtle and said to myself, I'm going to stomp on it and kick it throughout the goddamn sand, just like Mario, because my influence has been that heavy on the idea.
No, it didn't get violent until Yoshi showed up.
Yoshi was a violent motherfucker. He had a stupid little face
Yeah.
on him, but everything. But you have to know, man, that the Super Nintendo controller was kind of perfect, and then they're like, okay, great, let's fuck with this idea now. The N64 controller came out, which was, the graphics were cool, but it was just like, how the fuck do I hold this thing? The movie, the old movie. Now getting back to the John Leguizamo movie. Talk about a guy that I always know is acting, right? And I'm nothing against him. He is a brilliant actor when it comes to Broadway live plays. No one can hold a candle to him.
No.
But the range that he portrays, or he thinks that he portrays, in my opinion, brings down almost every scene. And it's almost because he is so well trained and so well versed on the live stage that when you're doing a realistic scene, you can pick out the guy that probably does Shakespeare better than anybody. And that would be John Leguizamo.
Well, something that you're skipping over with the Mario game, though, right?
What is that?
It didn't cause kids to become violent, but I can assure you that Mario caused kids to do drugs.
With the mushroom idea, right?
And the flower idea. Look, so if I smoke this fire-ass weed, man, it's fire. And if I eat these mushrooms, I'm going to get bigger in life.
Yeah, there's some huge drug references in there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nowadays, if Nintendo came out nowadays if Nintendo came out after the internet rather than before the internet, all we would be hearing is Japan makes this magical device to keep your kids distracted for hours and hours and hours. Is this infiltration through World War II and all that nice bullshit like we're hearing about TikTok right now? And
Mhm.
TikTok, it's entertaining. If you're using something for entertaining purposes, you use it, you watch it. The people that are telling you TikTok is terrible are the same people that are losing viewers to TikTok. Think about it. Okay.
I have over 1 million followers on my old TikTok, and I would tell you TikTok was stupid even then.
It's true.
What would you,
Oh,
what
he
you
had a
say
million
there?
TikTok followers, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was
I would
still
say
goofy,
TikTok
right?
was stupid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's goofy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always been the same product out there. People just they flip around, they go through it, they get the juice, right? You get the juice of the whole thing, you get to the good part, right? You get to the middle of the sandwich, and then bam, 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 you are your own director, you are your own audience control line, and you could lose hours at a time of life. And the only people that are
Oh,
telling
yeah.
you that TikTok is this some kind of disease fabric want to get your attention back on their commercials constantly. It's the weirdest thing. And they're like, TikTok's terrible. Let me tell you more about it at 9 o'clock. Make sure you fucking tune in.
Mhm.
It's like, wait a second. You're
Wait.
also bad there. Mainstream,
When I was-
AKA corporate news.
When I was a kid, right, or when I was a teenager, I was really big into Opie and Anthony, right?
Yeah, they were funny.
Love
Phenomenal.
Anthony. I think he's great. But what I remember is they would always do these segments about scary news clips where they would like, is something in your water killing your pet? More on this tonight at 11. It's like, wait, no, tell me now. Why are you- Yeah, fun shit.
All right, well, Blind, we are going to wrap up this lovely show of ours.
All right.
So we are going to roll out the red carpet for you, sir.
Red carpet.
If
Mhm.
people were going to find out where you are, and now, you know what? The rap game was cool, but we all want to move on to the country phase. Where can they find your new stuff?
They can find it on Spotify. Anywhere that you can find this lovely podcast right here, you can find my music.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
Sparky, where would that be?
Well,
Yes,
if
Sparky.
you're looking for it, you can actually find us on Spotify, YouTube, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Geo Rio.
Rio.
You can actually find us on Facebook Live Video. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on. I'm missing something. I'm always
iTunes,
iHeartRadio.
iTunes, iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, iTunes, iHeartRadio.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
If you
Anywhere
still wanna
that's
send
there,
us
we're
a-
there.
If you still want to send us hate mail, you can send it to us at thepodguyspodcast.com.
That's true.
And if you're looking to buy our lovely
More importantly than our merchandise, where can they find Blind Fury merchandise?
I currently don't have any more merch up because I'm in the process of rebranding and things. But what I'll do is I'll keep you guys posted because I'm sure you guys follow my Facebook and everything like that. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop.
You can find
Perfect.
any of updated merchandise on the Podguyz podcast page. If you're looking for Blind Fury merchandise, future featured merchandise will be coming up on the Podguyz podcast page. We're going to share it, no problem, because he's just that good. Your friends are going to like you more if you are a fan of Blind Fury. And if they don't like you more, well, are they really worth being friends with then?
They're not
No.
friends.
You got to ask yourself that. And the answer is always no. You got to, you got to get your friends an intervention then, and you got to take them off to the rehab
By the way-
sponsored by Blind Fury.
By the way, Blind,
Okay.
congratulations on your nuptials, sir.
And by the way, I want to say this really quick. I have a brand new single with Muck Sticky dropping this Friday. It's called Dropping Heat. I will be rapping on it.
Nice.
That's going to be really big. I'm going to be releasing a single with Big Murph next month. It's called Moving On. It's a little bit of country, a little bit of rap.
Beautiful.
I've got a single with Nubs that's going to be coming out the month after that. I just got a whole lot of shit rolling out, man. So stay tuned. Tune in, turn on, drop out.
Also on 420, Cardiac Titus featuring Blind Fury.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot all about that.
That's a big album. And you're like, I was on that little old thing.
Yeah, I was on that.
No, dude, it was a pleasure having you on. Of course, thank you very much for your time. And,
Anytime, dude. I'm always down.
Check out Blind Fury. If you don't know, now you know.
Right.
Right on here.
Guys,
It's-
we're the Podguyz podcast, bringing it to you live as we do every Monday. I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary.
Of course, the ever-loving Picasso, who was silent for most of the day, but it is what
We
it
got him
is.
at the end. We got him at the end.
Let's
A
fuck
big
yeah.
fuck you to Sparky.
Fuck yeah, yeah. There it is. There it is.
Guys, we're the Podguyz podcast, Podguyz podcast. Have a great night. Peace.
Yeah.